What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know a lot of you guys are sick of seeing me paint the Tacoma every single video. It's getting kind of boring, I will admit. So we got a little change of scenery today. Yes, it does involve paint, but we're not going to be spraying anything out. Just some touch-ups on the red truck. So I got a few rock chips in the truck I want to touch up. I want to do that right now because I want to do a ceramic coating on the truck, but you can't wax or ceramic coat over fresh paint. It will cause issues. Even little rock chips I don't feel comfortable coating over. So we'll get those rock chips fixed, and then I want to pull the stickers off the rocker panels because there is a bunch of rock chips down there as well. I'm kind of thinking about doing like that clear bra on the bottom on the rocker panels to help with the rock chips, but I don't have any right now, so probably won't be this video unless I find some in town, which I doubt, but that might be on the agenda for things to do. So let's get these rock chips filled in, and then we'll let that dry up however long it takes. Probably give it, I don't know, a couple weeks maybe, and then we'll do the ceramic coating. So the ceramic coating does take some prep work. I'll probably go through and strip all the wax off of the truck, do a complete buff. This truck has been sitting outside for a while as I've been painting the Tacoma, so the paint definitely needs a little bit of attention. So that is the game plan. I'll show you what we're doing for these rock chips. So I don't have a lot. They're mainly down here. You can see there's one right there. That I don't think I'll fill. That'll probably buff out. And then along the bottom there's one there, there. But I just want to get these figured out. There's one on the hood that really bugs me right here. So we're going to fill that. This side, pretty much the same, just a lot down lower. What I'm going to do instead, I don't have the little touch-up pens. I have the actual paint from when I painted it. So we're going to take some base coat, we're going to dab that in those little chips, get the color, and then we're going to mix up just a little bit of clear. I'll probably use a Q-tip to dab some clear coat in the chips, and then once that hardens up, we're going to sand it with maybe 2000 grit, give it a quick buff, and we should never see those rock chips. All right, we got these rock chips filled with clear coat. You can see a little bit there. You can probably see the one on the hood the best. So we're gonna give this overnight. I'm gonna hit that tomorrow, probably 2000 grit just to flatten out that clear, and then we'll buff it. And that clear coat, I did a couple coats on that, should fill in the chips completely. I can feel it's definitely positive. So after we sand it flat and buff it, we should be good. You shouldn't even see that there was ever a chip there. All right, we are good to go on those rock chips. We're gonna let those harden up. Now what I wanna get started on is cutting down the clear coat, cutting down the orange peel, flattening out the Tacoma paint. So it's been over 24 hours since we sprayed this thing. The shop has been like 75 the entire time, so it's had plenty of time to harden up. But what I'm still gonna do is I'm gonna do my first sand right now. I'm just gonna flatten it out. So what that does is it kind of opens up the clear coat and it helps solvents evaporate faster out of the paint. And you can honestly tell when you start sanding it, you can smell the solvents kind of starting to evaporate out. I've actually heard a lot of people say it pretty much cuts the time in half of those solvents to evaporate. So that's what we're gonna do. On the roof, I'm going to just do the DA with the 1500 grit like we did on everything else. But on the doors and the fenders, I think I'm just gonna flat block it wet with 1500, and then we'll take maybe 2000 and hit that real quick, and then we'll go to our Trizac. The reason I want to go through and hand block it by hand is it honestly flattens out the clear coat. If you guys have ever heard of urethane wave, it's a common thing with spraying urethane clears where it just kind of looks a little bit wavy. The DA doesn't take that out, and I did notice it's not that bad. You barely can tell in the bed. It's not enough to make me want to flat block that thing out again and buff it, but it's just a little bit wavy from that urethane wave. So that's the reason I'm going to flat block this. I'm just going to do it right, like I said, 1500 wet, probably just real quick with 2000 grit wet, and then we'll do our 3000 and 5000 Trizac, and then we'll buff it out, and this thing should look brand new. All right, guys, we are up to 5,000 grit. I'm gonna take a quick break for a minute and give my back a little bit of a break. So what I want to do is flatten out these little rock chips. We're just gonna hit those, like I said, probably 2,000 grit, flatten those out, and then we will buff them and we'll be good to go. And then we'll jump on the buff for the Tacoma. All right, guys, we are done completely with our first stage of the buff. What I think I want to do, because it is a beautiful sunny day, I want to bring this thing outside and make sure everything outside looks good in the sun. Make sure we didn't miss any spots. It does look a lot different under shop lights, so that's what I think I'm going to do. Move that wall out of the way, push this thing outside, and just take a look in the sun before we go through and do our whole next step. Like I said, I just want to make sure we didn't miss anything and we don't see anything funny going on in the actual sunlight. So let's get it out and check it out. All right, guys, got the truck out in the sunshine. Honestly, this thing looks a lot better in the sun. You see so much under the shop lights, and outside in the sun, honestly, I don't really see any defects. It looks good. I don't see any sand scratches. This is the first stage buff, and I don't even see any swirl marks, or it's not hazy at all. Perfectly clear. I am still gonna do, obviously, the next probably 2 steps of the whole buffing process, but I am honestly very impressed with how this thing looks with just one buff. It looks so good. Guys, I am so freaking excited and stoked to get this thing back together, get my lift, wheels, and tires on. These trucks are gonna look so good sitting next to each other. A little bit of a Christmas theme going here with the red and the green, but I am so excited to get this thing back together. All right, guys, we got a minor change of plans on the truck. So it has been 4 days since we sprayed the clear coat, and just when I was buffing it, I have been noticing the clear is still a little bit soft. It's not super soft, but if I like lean into it, and I was holding myself up when I was buffing the roof, it left just a little bit of a print into the clear coat. It buffed right out, no problem, but the clear might still shrink just a little bit over the next few days after it cures off and gases off. So what I think I'm going to do is just wait to do my second and third buff. As you guys know, the bed has 2-stage buff on it already. So my original plan was to get the whole truck back together and then do that final stage, which I might actually wait until I coat it. I am planning on doing a ceramic coating on the truck, so you have to wait like 3 months. I think they say 90 days to coat it, to wax it, seal it, anything. You gotta wait for this clear coat to completely gas out 100%. So that's why they say 3 months. Let it do its thing, and then you can seal it or ceramic coat it or wax it, whatever you do. So that's the plan. We're gonna wait till we can actually coat it to do our final polish. I think that's the best thing to do. That way when we do coat it, we have a nice fresh surface that we're coating without any defects. If we do get scratches in the meantime, we can take care of those, buff those out, so we have a perfect clear coat to coat. So that is the game plan. I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I'm gonna start in the next video. We're gonna start putting this thing back together, get the bed on. We got windows, doors to put back together. We got a ton of work. The interior is completely stripped apart as well. Headliner is still out. So we got a ton of work ahead of us. Very, very excited to get this truck back in one piece. So stay tuned for the next video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go smash that thumbs up button. We'll see you in the next one.